Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to dive deep into the world of animations. I'll be walking you through step by step, so by the end of this tutorial, you'll have all the tools you need to make any of your presentations look more visually engaging and professional. We'll bring to life the presentation we created in the previous video, so we'll go from this to this. If you want to learn how you can create this beautiful, elegant presentation from scratch, please check my other video. I'll leave a link in the description section. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of my upcoming tutorials. And now let's dive right in. I'm gonna open the presentation I created in one of the previous videos. If you want to follow along, feel free to use your own presentation as long as it doesn't have any animations or transitions yet. So let's have a look at what we have as a starting point here. This presentation has 20 slides divided into 5 sections, each starting with the title slide. It doesn't have any animations or transitions yet. I'm gonna jump to the first slide. So what we want to do here is to add some animation to this text. First of all, let's select these 3 elements, the title, the subtitle, and the overlay. Now press Command Option G to group them all together. Now we can add animation to that group. Make sure the group is still selected. If it's not, just click on it once. Now head over to the top of your screen and click here where it says Animation. And in the animation ribbon, we want to select the flying option. If you don't see this option here, you can expand this menu and select it from there. Now I want my animation to enter from the right hand side, so I'll need to go over here where it says Effect Options. Click on it, and in the menu, I'm gonna select from right. As you can see, the slide's title now enters the slide from the right side. The next step would be to choose when we want this animation to happen. Navigate to the Start drop-down at the top. We have several options here. It can appear when you click on the slide, or it can appear with the previous action or after the previous action. I want the title to fly in without any additional actions, so I'll choose with previous. Then we can set the duration, which is how long we want the animation to last in seconds. You can either enter a particular value or use the up and down arrows. Let's set it to 1 second. And now let's add some advanced settings. For that, click on the Animation Pane button in the Animation ribbon. And in the pane, select the animation we've just created. Here we'd need to expand the Effects option and select the Bounce and checkbox. This will add that bouncing effect at the end of the animation. If you want to see what it would look like, you can press this preview button in the left upper corner. It's looking good. The first slide is done, and let's move on to the next one. So what we can do here, I think it would look nice if we add entering animation to the image and to the text. Also, I want them to fly in from the opposite directions. I'm gonna start with the image first, select it by clicking on it once. Then in the animation ribbon, select the flying option and change its direction so that it would enter the slide from the left side. We want this animation to start with previous. And in the duration input, I'll set 1 second. Here we also want to add that bouncing effect. And to do that, let's navigate to the animation pane, which should already be open on the right hand side. And here we want to select the bounce and checkbox. Now let's add animation to the text. Select all 3 elements, the title, the line, and the description text. Once again, click on the flying option in the animation pane. This time I want the animation to start from the right side of the slide, so in the Effect Options drop-down, I'll select the From Right option. This animation will start with previous and last 1 second. Also, let's activate the Bounce and checkbox. Great. We're gonna go to the next slide now. Here, I would want the images to slide into view from the top and bottom, and the text will enter the slide from the right side. So let's select the upper image first. Now click on the flying animation option. I want it to fly in from the top. The animation will start with previous and last 1 second. Also, let's activate the bouncing effect at the end of the animation. I'll do the same for the second image, but this one will enter the slide bottom to top. For the text content, I want to do something different this time. It will fly in from the right side, but I want this animation to happen with a slight delay. So let me quickly group the title and the line by selecting them and pressing Command Option G on the keyboard. Then holding down Command key, also select the text. Now choose the flying option and set the direction from right. It will start with previous and last for 1 second. Let's not forget to activate the bouncing effect. Now, how can we make this animation start with a little delay? Let's navigate to the animation pane on the right hand side. Click on where it says timing. This will expand more options, and in here we would want to set the delay control to 0.2. Now let's try to run all the animations on this slide. As you can notice, the text group has entered the slide with a short delay. Alright, the slide number 3 is complete. Now let's move on to the next one. I'll start with the image. I want it to kind of zoom into the slide, and this effect is very simple to create. So let me first select it and navigate to the animation ribbon. Here we need to click on that down arrow, which will expand the panel with the animations options. Here we'd want to click on the one that says zoom. You can already see what it would look like. This time I want to leave the duration as it is at ½ second, and in the start setting I'll choose start with previous. Great. Next we want to add animation to the title. I'll select the title and the line and group them. Then we'll choose the flying option from the animations pane. And the default direction is from the bottom, which is exactly what we want. Just like we did before, I'm gonna set this animation to start with previous and last 1 second. Now let me do the same for the text, only this time I'll set it to fly in from the top. To make the slide look a bit more engaging, let's add a short delay to the image. And to do that, first we would need to select the animation the image already has. If you navigate to the animations pane, you'll see a list of all the animations that you have on your slide. As you can see, we have 3 animations here. So let me click on the top one. Alternatively, you can click on this small rectangle right next to the animation, and that will show you the settings related to that particular animation. So let's go down here to where it says delay and set it to 0.2. And now let's preview the slide. Alright, I forgot to add the bouncing effect, so let me quickly fix that. You'll notice that the image doesn't allow to check the bounce effect checkbox. That's because the zoom animation doesn't support it. Let's play the animation once again. Perfect. We're done with the first section. Now let's jump to the next one. Just as the previous one, it starts with the title slide. I want all my title slides to have the same animation, so I'll go ahead and animate the title. Alright, let's switch to the next slide. Here we can take advantage of the layered boxes under the image and play with the delay to create beautiful animation. But let me first add the flying animation to the text content. I want the title to fly in from the top and the description from the bottom. This should be very easy for you by now, so I'll speed up the video. Now let's see what we can do with the image. I want the bottom rectangle to have no animation, which means it will stay where it is right from the start. Then let's select the middle white rectangle and I'll choose the flying option and set it to appear from left. The animation will start with previous. The duration I'll set to 1 second and I'll add the bouncing effect. And now let's select the image. In the ribbon up top, I'll choose the flying animation. And just like the rectangle below, it will fly in from the left and last 1 second. To make it stand out a bit, I'm gonna go ahead and set the delay control to 0.2 seconds. And also let's not forget to activate the bounce and feature. I think it looks beautiful. Now let's navigate to the next slide. On this one, I want all elements to enter the slide at different time. The image is gonna enter the slide first. It will fly in from the top without any delay. The text content is going to enter the slide from the bottom, and each group will enter the slide with a short delay. If the elements are not grouped together, please go ahead and do so. Now select all 3 groups by holding down the Command key. Then head over right up here and choose the flying animation. The direction is set to from bottom by default, so I don't need to change that. The animation will start with previous and last 1 second. I'll activate the bouncing effect. The first group will start playing its animation at 0.2 seconds, so I'm gonna set the delay to 0.2. The second group is gonna have all the same animation properties, except that the delay I'm gonna set to 0.4. And the last one will start playing with a delay of 0.6. And let's have a quick look. It's looking amazing. Let's go to the next slide. Here we have 3 images, a title and a description. I want to give some variety to all these elements by playing with the delay setting. I want the middle image to be the first element that enters the slide. I'm gonna go ahead and select it, then choose the flying animation and set it to from top. Start with previous and play 1 second. Click on the bounce and the delay I'll leave as it is at 0. The next one will be the left image. I'll set the delay to 0.2 seconds. I'll do the same for the title so it appears on the slide together with the left image but from the bottom. Don't forget to group the title and the line. And the right image together with the description text will enter the slide last. I'll need to group the 2 paragraphs. Now I can just select this text and the right image, set it to fly in animation, and the delay will be at 0.4. The last thing I need to do here is to change the direction for the image. And let's play the slide. Perfect. The second section is ready, so let's move on to the next one, which starts with the title slide. I'll add the same animation we have on the other title slides. And let's go on to the next slide. It's got a lot of elements, so we can play here with the delay setting to create a cool effect. The images will enter the slide from opposite directions all at the same time. Now let's group together elements that belong to the title. It will fly in from the top together with the images. And each item in the infographics will enter the slide with a delay. I'm gonna add the same animation to all of them, and then adjust the delay control. The first item will enter the slide at 0.3 seconds, the second one at 0.6, and the last one at 0.9. Great. Let's move on to the next slide. This time we're gonna do something different with the image. Let's select the image and navigate to the animation ribbon. I'll select the fade animation. It will start with the previous, and the duration I'll set to 1.5 seconds. It will not have a bouncing effect as it is not available for this type of animation. And the delay setting I'm gonna leave at 0. Alright, now let's select the title elements and put them in a group by pressing Command Option G on the keyboard. Now let's add a flying animation, and it will appear from the bottom with no delay and last 1 second. Also, let's add the bouncing effect. And now I'll select the description text and set the same values here, except for the direction, which I'll set to from top. Awesome, one more slide is done, and we have one more slide in this section. In this one, we're gonna do something completely different. Let me select this image first, and in the animations ribbon, I'm gonna click on the path animation tool. This will open up a panel with the available options. Let's select the one that says lines. And what this is gonna do, it will add an animation that moves the image vertically, and that is not quite what we want here. To change the direction, we can click on where it says Effect Options. And in here, let's select right. I want the image to start moving from the center of the slide and stop at its current location. And we can do this with the starting and the stopping points, which are the green and the red rectangles. The green one is where the center of the image is located at the start of the animation, and the red one indicates where the center of the image stops when the animation finishes playing. So let me first grab the green rectangle and move it to the center of the slide. And I'll move the red point to the center of the image. Let's click on the preview. Awesome. Now let's change the duration here to 1 second. And add the bouncing effect at the end. Let's have a look at the animation once again. Perfect. Now let me quickly do the same for all other elements on the slide. I want all of them to move to their locations from the center. I'm gonna select the second image, then choose the lines option in the path animation dropdown. This time, let's change its direction to left. Then I'm gonna move the start and the end points to the right side. Now let's change the animation to start with previous. It will last for 1 second and have the bouncing effect at the end. And now let's do the same for the text content. To make it look a bit more interesting, I'm gonna set a delay of 0.2 seconds. And now let's preview the entire slide. Alright, this section is now complete, and we'll jump to the next one. Go ahead and add the same animation we have on other title slides. And once you're done, go to the next slide. Let's see what we can do on this slide. Here we have 5 different groups of elements, so let's animate all of them. I'm gonna start with the background. We need to select it first. Then we want to select the fade option in the animations drop-down. Change the start option to with previous and leave the duration setting at 0.5 seconds. Then let's select the brown rectangle. I want it to fly in from the right side. The title group will fly in from the opposite direction. And to make some emphasis on the text, each text block will enter the slide from the bottom and with a slight delay. The first one will have a 0.2 second delay, the second one 0.4. It's looking nice. The next slide will have the image and the text enter from the opposite directions. So let me quickly do the animations. This one was super quick. And we're moving on to the next slide. Here I want the images to enter the slide from the top and bottom. The text contents will appear on the slide from the left side, but let me group the title and the line first. And now let's select all 3 elements and add the flying animation. Then we can adjust each individual item. I want the description text to start the animation with a delay. The first one I'm gonna set to 0.2, and the second one will have a 0.4 delay. Alright, we have one last section. As always, let's add animation to the title slide. And we're moving on to the next slide. Here, I'm gonna add animations to the images first. Let's select the bottom image. I want it to fly in from the left side. And the animation will last 1 second. And I want to also add the bouncing effect at the end. Then I'm gonna select the next image together with the white rectangle. I want them both to appear from the left side. And I'm gonna set a delay of ½ second. And now let's select the title and the line, group them together, and add the fly in from right animation. Set it to start with previous and play it for 1 second. Add the bouncing effect and set the delay to 0.5 seconds. And now let's do the same for the text. The only difference here will be the direction which I want to set to top. Let's hit the preview button. We have 2 more slides to go. Here I'm gonna also have all my elements to fly in from different directions with some time delays. The process is similar to all the other slides, so I'm gonna speed up the video. Now let's go to the last slide. Here we're gonna have two images fly in from the top. And one from the bottom. And the text will fly in from the right side. And this time I want each block to appear after the previous one has finished playing its animation. We can achieve that by selecting after previous in the start setting. I think I want this animation play a bit quicker. Half seconds should be enough here. Yes, it looks much better now. Alright, we're now finished animating the entire presentation. Let's run the slides and have a look at the result. As you can see with animations, the presentation looks much more professional. With practice and creativity, you can make any of your presentations stand out using just a few simple animation tools. If you want to go a step further and learn how you can make your presentation even better, please check my next video where I'm gonna show you how you can create slide zooms to seamlessly navigate between different sections in your presentation. As always, I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to hit that like button. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on new tutorials. Until the next time!